Well, hey, everyone. Happy Thursday night. I'm Tunette, and this handsome guy over on my left is Dr. Michael Gross.
I'm Dr. Michael Gross. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Lots of things to discuss this very afternoon and evening, wherever you're living, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I want to thank all of you for joining us, and like to remind all of you that share these wonderful words of wisdom that I have, and on Facebook Live, and you can go to Dr. Michael B. Gross YouTube and see what I call the replays, or you can go to TUNAP at
It's Facebook. On YouTube, it's Healing the Holes in Your Soul. So I'm going to go ahead. Oh, Michael, I didn't mean to interrupt. How you doing?
You're good. Go ahead.
Okay. We're really glad that everybody's popping in. I'm going to put contact information in the comments, and I'm going to go ahead and formally introduce Michael so that he can get on with his powerful message. Okay. We're really glad you're here. It's Thursday night. We do this every Thursday night at 7 Pacific Standard Time, right? I'm like, so okay. So here we go. Dr. Michael Gross is an author. Oh, yeah, by the way, this is the only thing I read, and I want to make sure that he gets credit for all that he does. So that's why I don't want to miss anything as I read this, okay? Everything else, nothing else is scripted. It's whatever Michael channels and whatever little inputs I might add, okay? So on that note, Dr. Michael Gross is an author, professional keynote speaker, transformational coach, and an entrepreneur. For more than 3 decades, he's been on a spiritual path as an intuitive, a healer, a spiritual counselor, and an incredible teacher. Through the guidance of spirit, Michael has assisted others in their personal quest for self-empowerment, helping them to create the lives that they have long sought and to bring forth their intuitive abilities. Michael currently teaches classes in spirituality, self-empowerment, Reiki, and other modalities. In concert with God, the true source, he has also achieved great success and miraculous healings. He remains humble, knowing that the work that he does all comes from God, the true source. Michael lives in Lakewood, Washington, and he's recently launched his nonprofit. So before you start with our message, why don't you just let the people know a little bit about it, okay?
All right. The nonprofit is the International Institute of Self-Empowerment. It's a 501c3, and we affectionately, as you know, call it TISE, TIISE, and it has 12 arms. And when the True Source said I was to form a nonprofit, not knowing what I was supposed to do with it, it suddenly was revealed to me, and was revealed when I was working with Tio Knapp, who has written a beautiful book, Healing the Holes in Your Soul. It's all about survival and abuse and rising like the phoenix from the ashes. So I asked her to please, be the director of the one arm that we're starting, and that is the arm of abused women, children, and men, and she kindly consented to do so. That's what we're focusing on, and we'll have more exciting news as time goes by. Um, but just remember, we're a 501c3. So if you're looking for a tax deduction, this year or whenever, or your spirit says, hey, support this, we would appreciate it. Thank you. All right.
Perfect. Thank you. Now let's get on with our message.
All right. So I have a beautiful message that I want to share with you and your body and your thoughts. In a previous uh, YouTube live and so on, I wanted all of you to understand that I talked about every organ with your body has an intelligence. It operates like a brain and operates independently, but also operates with your thoughts and your energy. So I want to break down a few understandings or misconceptions. First of all, you are your body. Well, what does that really mean? You design your body. Well, we know if you overeat or overdrink or whatever, your body will respond in kind. But more so, I want you to take a look at your thoughts. So let's talk about thoughts. Thoughts have a frequency, have an energy, and a vibration. And if you go, oh, darn, that's pretty low vibration. If you go, oh, joy, that's a higher vibration. I'm happy. You hear the inflection of my voice? That's even a higher vibration. So, what the mind can conceive, the body will believe. Therefore, to reiterate that 94% of your thinking comes from your subconscious mind. And that's like an MP3, or my day would say a tape, playing over and over and over and over again. You may not even be aware of it or conscious of it, but just think about your thoughts. And sometimes you'll repeat something over and over again. And that is that subconscious thought. And therefore, we can divide the subconscious thought into lowering your vibration and another part rising your or raising your vibrations. So, vibrations are a frequency and energy, and we respond to it. And it's like you're a fine tuned, let's say, violin or a guitar or a cello or whatever. And you listen to certain music, you feel really good and you want to sing and dance. And you might listen to other type of music and you might become a little depressed or anxiety. And then others don't even resonate with you and you don't want to even listen to it. Well, that's the way your thoughts work. It has a frequency and vibration, and your body will resonate either positively or negatively, or even in some cases, just block it out. Now, if we understand words are things, thoughts are things, and the reason I say words are things or thoughts are things, before you answer any type of question, you have to think. And the thoughts are instantaneous. So, the old cliche, if I say, let's go out and have a hot fudge sundae with whipped cream nuts, jalapeno peppers, and let's say some sauerkraut, you go, no, thank you. And I don't blame you. However, if I say, let's go out and have a hot fudge sundae, whipped cream nuts and cherry and whatever, and if you liked it the last time, instantaneously say yes. All right. So that's how I'm saying or indicating to you that in our subconscious thoughts, a lot of it governs how we think and feel about ourselves. And it's the subconscious thoughts that keep playing it over and over and over again. And what happens is that your body, your mind, your energies will respond to those subconscious thoughts. And if you realize that, and you ever work with someone that did like past life regression work or whatever, things will pop up over and over again. And I remember a gentleman that I was working on, and he owned a moving company and he had a bad back, and no matter what he did, couldn't cure it. He came to me and I regressed him, and he suddenly remembered that in a past life, he had a moving company, but it was a team of horses and big wagons, and he would move freight and whatever from town to town, sometimes furniture, and we're talking the 1800s. And he remembered one time when the horses were spooked, and he got run over by the wagon, and it injured his back, and he ended up sitting in a make form some kind of wheelchair, and needed to be helped. And when he realized that, and he brought that thought and energy into it, we worked on him releasing that. And then 5 minutes later, the pain in his back was gone and never ever came back. So a lot of our experiences have to do with our past lives. And we bring in the energy of the past lives to heal or whatever the karmic lessons are. I don't want to dwell into that. We can talk another time about it. But understanding that our subconscious mind controls us, look at your body. So if a person gets upset or angry, did you know that within 24 hours, 90% of the people who are angry or upset will end up injuring themselves, banging their hand, their knee, stubbing their toe. You may not even be cognizant of it, but your body responds to it. And there's another part of the response, and then when you are mad or angry at someone, you end up beating yourself up and being angry at you. Of course, that's not your intent, but you play it over and over in your mind, you grumble, you say words, and so on and so forth. The bottom line is, who are you hurting? You. So let's understand that we've heard a lot of amazing things. We've heard a lot of amazing things where, or you've read about it, there's souls in the South that belong to a sect, and they're bitten by the poisonous snakes, or they drink poisons, and nothing happens to them. Nothing. See how powerful your mind is, how it controls your body? And then there are other situations where we heard about the Buddhist monks. They will go out in cold weather, sit on a block of ice in minimal clothing, and they'll melt it and they don't shiver and get cold. This is how powerful your mind connection is to your body. So we can say that your mind has a symbiotic relationship with your body. And your body is always communicating with you, whether you realize it or not. How does it communicate? Well, you eat spicy foods, you may get heartburn. Or you may eat too much food and you feel very uncomfortable, you can't sleep at night. Or perhaps you end up with clogged arteries or whatever because you're not eating the right foods. Or perhaps, you're eating certain foods that are affecting your gallbladder, pancreas, and so on and so forth. Understanding that is, I said in the beginning, you are the soul, S-O-U-L-E, comma, S-O-L-E, designer of your body. And I was looking at famous movie stars and Saturday Night Live people, and they showed them, and you could see they were the same thing, but many of them had gained 20, 30, 40 pounds, which said that for whatever reason, maybe they weren't working out or maybe they weren't doing exercising, excuse me, but whatever it was, they put on some weight. So as we get older, they say you puff out a little bit, you put on a little weight, your metabolism slows down. Well, a lot of that's true, but why does it slow down? What changes our body? And it's our thoughts, like I'm tired, keyword, I'm tired. I don't feel like doing this. The body goes, oh, you're tired. Okay, so we'll slow down the metabolism. We'll slow down your energy. Well, you're probably saying, that's not what I meant. I didn't mean to say that. But remember, your body takes everything literally. It does not think and examine like we normally do. So that's something for you to really think about. To you wanted to add a thought? Excuse me.
I did, because if we were having that mindset, like you always tell us, it's our anniversary of our birth. So if we're approaching another anniversary of our birth, a lot of people start thinking, man, I'm getting old. So that would also affect what you're just talking about. Am I right?
Correct. We have an image, an imprint in our brain and subconscious. Mom and dad were young and grandma was young, and they get older, they get gray and wrinkly and they slow down and so on and so forth. So the subconscious thought is, oh, that's the way they look like, that's the way I'm going to be. That's what they think. And so that slows down or speeds up, I should say, the aging process, slows down your ability to stay young. And what happens is you begin, your facial features change, your hair changes, and you get wrinkles and whatever else, because that's imprinted in your mind that you get older. So that's why I tell everybody you don't have a birthday anymore, you have the anniversary of your birth. And that's really important for you to understand because it doesn't have the same connotation. Words, energy, birthday, getting older, anniversary, joyous time. So it's all about semantics and thoughts, and we don't even think about that. And one of the things is that, a lot of things will affect us based on our thoughts subconsciously. And there was a husband and wife that I knew, and she was always yada, 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 yada. Always like, do this, do that, do this. You know what? He lost his hearing. He lost his hearing. And I was kind of chuckling to myself. And the reason he lost his hearing, he was tired of hearing yada, yada, picking, do this, do that, do this. Because his body responded in a way, hey, I got to ignore this. What's the best way? Bingo, the hearing. Interesting, isn't it? Or then I knew I had a very good friend. She hated doing this work. She wished she didn't have to go to work. She hated her job, but she had to do it. She hated all the things she had to do. And some of it involved walking around. She came down with cancer of the leg and she couldn't work. That's the sad part of the body and the sad part of the story. However, a year and a half later, the cancer was gone and she's fine. And she said to me, Michael, I created it, didn't I? I said, yes, you did. You didn't like the direction you were moving in, and that's why it affected her legs. And many times, if we have hip or knee problems, and you could say, well, I did a sport or an event or whatever, and that's true. But on the other hand, if you didn't like what you were doing, like, oh, it was a very dear friend of mine, a client, she trained horses. Excellent, excellent, excellent trainer. And she has hip and knee problems because she got tired of doing it. And she kept doing it and doing it. And she kept saying, my body's going to reflect all this pain someday. It's going to reflect it. Yep, it sure did. We don't do these things intentionally. We don't think about them. But my purpose of discussing this with you is think about what you're saying, think about what you're thinking, and think about the direction you want to go into. And I noticed I think it was on YouTube, there was a couple, I think she was 91 and he was 93, and they were doing the jitterbug. I don't know if some of you saw that. I went, holy cow, they're both overweight. He was swinging her around, putting her between his legs, and they were going 150 miles an hour because in their mind, they weren't 91 and 93. They were still teenagers. Well, what does that tell you? What you think you create, what you create, you experience. Therefore, I don't care what age you are, but if you're still thinking you're 19, 20, 30, 40, whatever you think you are, that's what you'll become. Your energy will be that way. Yes, you'll age a little bit, keywords a little bit, but you'll be going 90 miles an hour and enjoying life. And that's so important. Today, we're so wrapped up on we got to eat healthy, which is a good idea. We can't do this, we can't do that, we can't do this and can't do that. I mean, it's really, really amazing. And not that I'm an advocate of this, but tell you two stories. One of them was an Uncle Eddie, and he smoked unfiltered cigarettes. He smoked them. And, we know that's bad, right? He smoked them, and he died in his mid 80s. He just went to sleep, and they said his heart failed or whatever. Well, something's got to malfunction for you to birth out of your body. And he was fine. And then I ran across another couple I knew, and they were smoking cigarettes, and their mother was 90 years old smoking cigarettes. And she says, these are not going to bother me. And they didn't, because that was her belief system, and her body responded. Now, I'm not advocating you should smoke, but I'm giving this to you as examples. And then, there was another case study where this person had liver cancer, and he knew, well, they told him he had 6 months to die. So what he did was imagine that every 3-4 times a day, there was a shark eating the cancer out of his liver. Now they gave him 6 months to live. That was 10 years ago, and he's healthy. Isn't that interesting? Give you another story that's really fascinating. I was performing a wedding, and the wedding coordinator told me that 5 years ago, they gave her 6 months to live. I said, well, what did you do? He said, every day I pretended I was running barefoot through the meadow, and I was healthy, and I was dancing and around the butterflies around me, and that was 5 years ago, and the cancer is gone. Pretty amazing story. And there are many other amazing stories that I could share with you. So look at the body-mind connection, right? That's my purpose. Where's your energy and where's your thoughts? My main argument and things that annoy me when a doctor says, well, the doctor says that you have cancer and you got 6 months to live. Well, you might as well put a nail in the coffin, because already you've condemned that person to death. Now the doctors say, we have to be honest with you. We have to say this and say that. What they've done was unintentionally eliminate all hope. And that's the most important thing we have is hope. Yes, to you.
My dad was diagnosed with prostate cancer, and the doctor told him he had less than 2 years to live. And when he heard that, he said, I'm going to live to be older than my father was when he birthed out. And he did. He lived 6 years after that, because it was in his mind that, this is what you're saying. It was in his mind that there was no way that he was going to leave in 2 years.
Exactly. Good point. So what the mind can conceive, the body will believe. Now, sometimes we lie to ourselves and, we know it's false, but we're hoping that things will change. Well, the most important thing for each one of us to realize is that the only one in control in your body is you. All right. Does medicine help you? Absolutely. But more importantly is your mental attitude and your belief. Most important, your belief and faith and acceptance that you are now being healed. And even if there's a little doubt, you look in the mirror and say, I am now healed. Over and over again, 9, 10 times, couple, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day. Remember that woman that pretended she was walking and running through the meadows barefooted? You will continue to do that and not have the subconscious thoughts not going to work. You will eventually heal your body. It'll be magnificent and wonderful. And by the way, you can live to any age you so desire. Most of us, before we incarnate, we pick 3 times in our lifetime we can birth out of our body. But you can ask, which God, the true source as I say, to extend your life healthfully. And you know what? It will be. And that's how powerful you are. You don't recognize how powerful your thoughts and energies are. But remember, everything you've created in life, there are no failures. Really isn't. You learned what worked and didn't work. What great knowledge you have. Instead of, well, I failed or I didn't do that or didn't do that. When you do, you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cancel, cancel, cancel. You separate the brain and go to the amygdala. You're now stopping a thought from going out to the ethers and coming back to you. Go what you think you create, you experience. And you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cancel, cancel, cancel. I am healthy. I am wonderful. I am joyous, or whatever. So if you look at people that have all kinds of different ailments, just try to trace back and ask them, well, how did this happen? How did that happen? I've also worked with people who, they had some cancer and we're regressing them. Well, they remembered in a relationship, one particular client, that she didn't want to live anymore. And she was so hurt. Guess what? She won. Created the cancer and she died because she didn't want to live anymore. It's amazing. And I've worked with other clients, who said the same thing. They didn't want to live anymore, came down with cancer, and it was incurable. So watch your thoughts. You see, it's the energy intensity of your thought. Like, I'm healthy. I'm healthy. La, 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 I'm healthy. Or, I am healthy. Yes, I am healthy. Feel the verb, the energy. That's what changes your body. Is that, oh, incoming message. I'm healthy. Yes, I am. And the body will respond to it. When you come down with a cold or even some kind of infection, what does the body go? Here comes the army. Da, 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 da. We're going to destroy, the bacteria and the infection, and you're going to be healthy. And it works, doesn't it? It truly, truly works. See how powerful your thoughts are? And my message to you, I want all of you to begin to change your thoughts. And changing your thoughts is little by little. Look, it took the number of years to create your body and your thoughts. Whether you're 20 years old, 15 years old, or 90 years old, look at all the plethora of thoughts. Look at your brain and your subconscious as a hard disk, having terabytes and terabytes of information, both positive and both negative. Well, of course, you don't want to disturb the positive ones, but you want to heal and eliminate the negative ones. And one of the key words are, I am perfectly healed. Word's perfect. What does that really mean? It means that everything that is needed for you to be healed is now taking place. Everything, without a doubt. And that's good enough. Perfect. Because your soul knows, oh, perfect. Yep, it's a toilet paper roll of instructions. And the subconscious mind goes, oh, incoming message from the soul. Okay, we're going to do this and this and this and this and this and this and this. And I use myself as an example. I pulled my rotator cuff and did it twice because, I got to do things right. First time it took me a week to heal. Second time it took me a day and a half, totally healed. And lifting up 150-pound bales of hay, bingo, no problems anymore. Or I had disintegrating discs in my back And they said, well, you're 35 and you got to learn to live in pain, which I did for about 3 or 4 years, learned about healing. And I told you I was lifting 150-pound bales of hay. So we have that ability. I'm not any more special than you are, except we have to believe, have faith, believe, and accept the healing. And that's what you need to do. So right now, I would like all of you, when you go to sleep, look in the mirror because you get the reflexation. And the reflexation is what I call reflecting back the energy. It's like if you take a mirror and you tilt it in the sun on your body, it becomes almost blinding because it's magnified. Look at that mirror at night and say, I am perfectly healed. And just do it every night, 8 times, 9 times, and as many times a day as you can do it. And this is the way the subconscious mind goes. Baloney, baloney, baloney. After 30 days, second period, 31 through 60. Maybe, maybe, maybe. 61 through 90. Yes, 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 yes. It's that simple. But if you have that doubt, then you've got to continue doing it till you no longer have that doubt. Because that's the doubt that will slow down the healing. And that's so important. I know some people go, well, it's working. I know it's working, but it hasn't happened yet. I know it's working, but it hasn't happened yet. I know it's working. I said, you're blocking it out. No, I'm not. I'm saying it's working, but it hasn't happened yet. Well, if it's working, why are you saying it hasn't happened yet? Because you don't believe it. And that's so important. Gee, you wanted to add something?
I did. When you were just saying you're looking in the mirror and you're talking about, I am healed, I am perfectly healed. That's also a great time when you walk by a mirror to just stop for a minute, don't you think, and say, I am unlimited?
Absolutely.
Because how many times should we be saying that to ourselves every day anyway?
Absolutely. So you might want to do, it's a good point. I am healed before you go to sleep, and during the day, look in the mirror, I am unlimited. Of course, I am limited means there are no limitations. You can achieve anything. But it's most important when you go to sleep at night and say, I am healed, or whatever affirmation you're using, because the mind reviews whatever you say 60 to 90 times in your sleep. I'll give you a brief explanation of how it happened. Back in the 50s in England, they had some hypnotherapists, and they put a subconscious thought into the prisoners who agreed to do with it. And they had electroencephalogram and noticed the brain wave. And every time they repeated a certain affirmation, the brain wave did a certain kind of formula or scratches across the white sheets of paper. And when they looked at it in the morning when they were asleep, those thoughts were reviewed 60 to 90 times in their sleep. Well, when the mind can conceive, the body will believe. So that's a fact. I know TU is telling me we're running out of time. We'll be sharing more information, but TU, I turn it over to you.
Thank you so much, Michael. That's fascinating information, because when you can take life experiences, like when I shared about my dad, and put that into something that, my dad was 93 when he birthed out, and to know that he didn't let that doctor's 2-year thing, because I remember, he said, that guy just gave me a death sentence, and I refused to hear it. So there is, so much value in what you just gave us. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And on that note, I do want to thank everybody for joining us. Michael does a Tuesday night call-in. Why don't you talk about that really quick, Michael? We'll let everybody know what else we do.
Every Tuesday evening at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's a chance for you to ask any questions on spirituality, and it's really important. And then hopefully I can answer your questions, and I deliver a 10-minute message, maybe 12 minutes, a motivational message, and I've got close to 300 of them, a little shy of 300. And they go from number 3 to 300, probably a 285, 290, but whatever, it's close enough. I don't keep track. And it's important for you to listen to them. And I would appreciate if you would call in, because goodness knows we need a lot of help on this planet. And in order to access and listen to that, the telephone number it's on freeconferencecall.com.
Okay, to call in on the Tuesday night at 6:30 Pacific savings time, it's 202-926-1059, and the access code, Michael?
125-446-pound.
Okay, one more time on that. 202-926-1059, and the
And
code?
the access code is 125-446-pound. And on that vein, on the second Saturday of every month from 9:55 a.m. Pacific time to 11:01 Pacific time, I call it the Mass Consciousness Healing. And what we do is I talk for 3 to 5 minutes, not steadily. And after that, we go into silence and meditation. And then we come back out around 10:58, something like that. And I say a few words and we conclude by 11:01, 11:02. And it's also very important. It's very dear to my heart because we are the solution and we can make a difference on this planet. And goodness knows, looking around the planet, we need to make a difference. And the greatest form of difference, the most powerful energy that is immutable, is the energy of love. Just imagine it going through your body and being a conduit of the true source to help send healing to the inhabitants on this planet, Mother Earth, and everything that exists. And that telephone number is the same telephone number as the Tuesday night call in. And just repeat that one more time.
Absolutely. It's 202-926-1059, and the access code, Michael?
125-446 pound. And we have one further, and that is I call it the repeat or replay. And all those messages from number 3 to almost number 300, but you dial in the number, it's going to ask you what number you want to listen to. And you don't know really what you're going to listen to. But I can't tell you how many people go, I was feeling down. I wanted to be motivated. And I listened to number 107. Just what I needed to hear. I didn't know what it was. And that's so important because why? Your soul is guiding you to listen to number 107 or whatever number it is. And that's really important for you to realize that. If you're stuck in traffic or you're depressed or feeling lonely, just listen to a few of them. They're about 250 hours long. I want to see if you're paying attention. They're really about 10 to 12 minutes long. So everyone, and that telephone number is?
That one is 434-300-4170. And the access code, Michael?
125-446 pound.
I'll give that number again. It's 434-300-4170. And the access code, Michael?
125-446 pound. Share this with everyone because it is my dream to make a difference. And you are part of the beautiful energy of making a difference by empowering everyone, by enlightening them, and helping them to do your missions and goals. Everybody has a whole bunch of missions and goals. And right now, one of us and all of us need to work together to change the mass consciousness on this planet. And you start with yourself first, and then it extends outward to everyone you know. So thank you very much, everyone. Also, I'd like to remind you that this is brought to you by, we do our commercial, Healing the Holes in Your Soul, a beautiful book by T.U. Knapp. And it's about coming out of the fires and becoming the phoenix. It's a wonderful story of survival and belief and listening to your soul and being reborn. It's a wonderful book. And the person that wrote the introduction and forward, I know that guy. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, Dr. Michael Gross wrote the foreword to that book, but highly recommend that you get a hold of the Spiritual Primer. Michael's currently got his second edition of it coming out very soon. So we'll keep you posted on that one. But I want to always add that if it wasn't for this book and this incredible gentleman next to me, I wouldn't be doing this Facebook Live, and that book that he's holding would not be in existence. So I want to thank everyone for joining us today, and we appreciate your comments. If you have any questions, all the contact information is in the comments below. And I honestly just want to say that, Michael, one more thing. Don't you offer a complimentary consultation?
Absolutely. Thank you for bringing that up. The information will be available in the chat section. And to all those who are new, I offer you a complimentary 20 or 30-minute consultation. Ask any questions, and perhaps I can be of service to you. And I believe I can, because we're all seeking and learning and looking for love and joy and happiness in our life. And that's why we're here. So thank you, everyone. And just remember, you are unlimited. Namaste. Have a wonderful week, everybody. Remember, we love you.
And don't forget, invite your friends, because this is a half-hour Thursday night and you get so much content, valuable content. So on that note,
take care, everyone.
We'll see you guys next Thursday.
We love you. Take care.
We love you.